It's showtime. What's going on, everybody? Another Wednesday afternoon of After Hours Live with the specific. Right now, starting us off, obviously, this is not Dr. Cam. This is Dr. Chris. The reason why is because he's out doing his coffee and community event at Guillermo's Coffee right now. It's an event that he's starting up this year that he's going to be doing every single second Tuesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. Right now, what they're going to be doing is general trivia, but they're going to get into some specific bingo trivia. Great nights. He's doing it every single Tuesday, second Wednesday of the month. Other announcements that we have before we get into what we got going on tonight for the live. We have, obviously, every Wednesday going on this. We have a group walk going on next Saturday over at Two Rivers Park Bridge, that little bridge right next to the Maumelle Bridge. Of course, you got to get the app. If you don't have the app, then you're just already a step behind 2024. Last piece, if you haven't done so already, make sure to click subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, make sure to like our Facebook page. Those are the critical pieces. Make sure that you are getting the notifications to be able to show up on these. And of course, we do giveaways last week, actually. Not last month. It's going to feel like we did a month when we get into February. Already hit 4 or 5 of these. But last week, we gave away $100. One lucky winner, Karen Underwood, walked away with a crisp Benjamino. Today is a 60-minute free massage. So what we got to get you guys to do, how do we win, right? That's the question number one. How the heck do we win? I want a free massage. Of course you do. Who wouldn't? What you got to do in the comment section, we would love to hear what your one-word theme of the year is. Last week, that's the topic we went on, how to sustain your goals for 2024. Tonight's a little bit different. But before we get going on that, make sure to comment one-word theme. What is it for the year? If you don't have one, think about it, ponder it. It's going to anchor you to the whole year, and that's what's going to make your 2024 get into high gear. So before we get going, if you listen to Happier, Healthier Arkansas podcast, you know that I love doing tea and drinking tea when I have this show. This is my lemon ginger, honey, turmeric, chai vitality. Let's give it a taste test. Ooh, that's hot. Holy smokes. I just burnt my esophagus. Ooh, that's toasty. Kind of like tonight's theme and concept. If you look at the bottom left, it says, your weight loss plan is busted. And what the heck does that mean? What we're going in on tonight is why your weight loss plans have never, ever worked. And the big reason why, you probably have tried exercise. You've probably have tried eating well, eating a lot. Maybe you thought, okay, maybe sleep is my issue. Might have even been, I just need to change my mindset around this. I just need to manifest losing weight. Maybe it might even be function. Who knows? But the biggest misconception that people have when it comes to losing weight or trying to have fat loss or do a body recomp is they think that it's all the things that they need to do or that it's one piece, but you got to create a recipe. And really what it comes down to that no one's talking about are hormones. And there's one big culprit, stress. Does anyone know what the stress? If you know what the stress hormone is, comment that in the chat. That might be a little quick Q&A. Stress hormone, what is it called? Does anyone have it? Who knows? So when we go into hormones, when we go into moderating stress, how does that even connect to weight loss? By the end of my time here on this, you'll have a clear understanding of how hormones in your nervous system are directly linked with your capability of being able to actually shred fat loss, increase muscle, and maintain that consistently week in, week out for months at a time. If you notice, the 5 pieces that I had mentioned when I first started, exercise, nutrition, sleep, mindset, function, those are actually the 5 pillars of health. Okay, you need all 5 of those pieces in order to be physiologically, functionally healthy. So you have to address exercise, you have to address nutrition, nourishment, you have to address recovery, sleep, you have to address mindset, outlook, perspective, your mental health, and then also function, which function is your nervous system. All 5 of those are intertwined with your hormones, especially stress hormone. Now, the stress hormone, we got some cortisol in there. Look at that. Alexis Downham, Stacey Russell, they're hammering it. Come on, guys. Everybody knows what that stress hormone is. It's because everybody doesn't want to have it. So when you have this cortisol, how could cortisol itself lead to our inability to lose fat, inability to shred fat? How come the pounds are coming on, not coming off when I'm eating less, when I'm exercising more? What the heck? So when you have cortisol is a stress hormone. It's a fight or flight. Super similar to our stressed out state of our nervous system, which is that sympathetic, that fight or flight. There's a lion walking into the door right now and it roars and I panic and I go jump in Grant's lap and I say, save me, Grant. When that happens, that cortisol is sent spiking through our system. Cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine. And what that is doing is it's trying to mobilize the amount of energy I have to run away from that lion, because that guy is ferocious, straight from Lion King, that bad dude, Scar, I think, the guy with the face. The guy with the face flowing right now. If anyone knows what that lion's name is, I want to see what it is. I know Simba's the Mazadenya. Yeah, if you like that Simba quote, make sure to give that a like on Facebook if you're on there. Now, cortisol, insulin, blood sugar, how does that actually come into play? So cortisol spike, I see the line, freaks me out. Cortisol stress, boom, spikes up. Stacey Russell, Scar, there it is. Spikes up. Okay, that's going to stress out my system. What that does is it's now going to flood my blood with blood sugar. We're trying to mobilize blood sugar so I have the energy to make sure I'm able to run away from the lion. It's a protective mechanism. That's what stress does. Stress mobilizes blood sugar. It's going to jack up our stress hormones to make sure that I can survive another day running away from Scar the lion from Lion King. Now, I have elevated blood sugar in my bloodstream. What does every single doctor your entire life told you to do? Lower your blood sugar. Why? Because when we have higher blood sugar, what hormone gets released? That's right. You thought it. I know you didn't comment it, but insulin. Okay. Insulin is what's going to have to be constantly released if my blood sugar is high. So if I'm stressed out, high stress, high blood sugar, high insulin. Now, if I have a lot of insulin, what's going to be the result? Insulin resistance. Now, all of a sudden, I can't get that blood sugar into the cells because they're constantly getting released, because cortisol is constantly getting released, because something in my daily life or something in those 5 pillars, whether it is movement, not moving properly or moving at the wrong times, whether it's not eating correctly, eating at the wrong times, eating the wrong foods, whether it's not getting quality sleep, whether it's not thinking correctly, maybe if it's not functioning correctly, what gives? What's causing this to be stressed out? What's causing my blood sugar to always be high? What's causing my insulin to always be high, thus resulting in insulin resistance? We have insulin resistance. This is going to wreck our sex hormones. Progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. They're going to get absolutely, completely dysregulated. They're going to be super messed up. And when that occurs, that continues the snowball. It is a never-ending process that is just this momentum of chaos just continues to spike and spike and spike. And now we're so far gone that it is going to take some external help to actually start reversing the snowball and getting this whole process to be corrected so I can finally achieve the goal of trying to lose weight. How can we move properly to reduce stress? Well, one piece is getting up in the morning. A, seeing that sunlight. Also, B, walks are super good. Also, C, moving for what your body's actually requesting. If you are into weightlifting, for example, and you say, okay, I'm going to force myself to lift 6 days a week because that's what it takes to lose fat. Maybe on day 3, you're like, shoot, my body's wrecked. Listen to your body. Give it what it's requesting. Just go for a walk. It's not that bad, and it's still beneficial. Still gets blood flowing. Still great for you. Still helps regulate your hormones. That's a big key. Now, say eating-wise. For women and men, women try to implement like fasting rituals or trying to do strict carnivore or keto or vegan and doing all these super intense foods or diets, but they don't understand how that's actually impacting their cycle. In the first 13 days of cycle from onset of menses being day 1, that's when estrogen is high. When estrogen is high, estrogen will thrive in more of a keto type environment, more of a low carb, higher fatty type environment. When we eat like that, that's going to help out estrogen. It's going to make that occur and be flowing the way that it should. But if I am eating a super high carby diet with a bunch of inflammatory oils and just I have an entire storm going on in my body, that's going to result in cortisol being released, which is going to suppress estrogen, starting the getting wrecked and jacking up sex hormones, and thus causing this whole cascade to occur. Now, from day 13 to 15, that's typically when ovulation happens. And that is more so when all three hormones, progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone, are more elevated. And that is when you can start having more kind of carby friendly foods. Now, in the back half is when progesterone is high. When progesterone is high, progesterone thrives in more of a carby environment, more of a higher glucose intake environment, because it's trying to prepare as if you're going to start nurturing a new egg and a new fetus. So it wants to be prepared and have the nutrients for that. So if, say, hypothetically, we're doing keto or carnivore, and we're in the back half of the cycle, that's when women get wrecked at doing these diets, because it's actually stressing out that progesterone phase of the cycle, thus resulting in a cortisol cascade, thus resulting in higher blood sugar, thus resulting in higher insulin, thus resulting in not being able to lose weight. And now we're trapped and we're stuck in that snowball that we can't get out of. Sounds kind of crappy. Now, before I go on sleep, look at this guy right here. Oop, I'm following it. Download our app. See that thing? I'm telling you, if you get the app, your 2024 will be dramatically different from the stuff we're going to be putting out. Get that app. If you don't have it, well, App Store, Google, Apple, it's on both. Go ahead and get it. So I gave a brief synopsis of movement, nourishment. Now let's get to sleep. If our sleep is dysregulated, if I have a tough time staying asleep, if I have a tough time getting to sleep, then I'm going to have a really tough time making our hormones, because hormones are actually made during sleep. Cortisol is high in the morning. That's what wakes us up. That's the natural time it's supposed to be elevated, which is why it's really good to exercise in the morning, which is why it's good to do your cold therapy if you're into that in the morning. That's when you want to stress your body out, is in the morning, because it woke up with temperature rising. And then it also is like, hey, I just woke up. Now I need food. So that's when it's naturally in that more of a stress state. But if we're stressing ourselves out throughout the rest of the day, then we're going to get these random periodic cortisol spikes. That's going to dysregulate our sex hormones and cause our weight loss journey to just be demolished. So easy ways to sleep better. Challenge you guys to stop eating 3 hours before bed. Guarantee if you do that, sleep will improve. Figure out a night routine. There's a really easy 3-2-1 recipe where 3 hours before sleep, stop eating. 2 hours before sleep, stop drinking water. 1 hour before sleep, stop looking at screens. That's a fantastic way to help clean up sleep. Last two pieces, if you think good, then that can help. But obviously, if you have a high stress load and a low stress tolerance in terms of just mental things that happen to you, very reactive type personality, then that is going to just further the stress snowball and further the cortisol, thus furthering the insulin, furthering the blood glucose, and resulting in the weight loss plan being busted. But for that one person that does all four things on their own, they move well, they eat good, they sleep good, and they think properly, and nothing else works, what gives? It's because function is not being addressed. It's because the function of your nervous system being in a stressed out, dysregulated state is what is initiating that chronic cortisol release over time. So there's plenty of people out there that move good, eat good, sleep good, think good, and yet they still can't figure out why their weight loss journey is still at step one when they've already taken 38 steps. It's because they're not getting the nervous system checked. The nervous system is a fundamental piece of all five of these. And we can't just tend to one and not tend to the other. All five need to be tended to day in, day out. And we want to try to string the days together of when all five are on point. Because if we start stringing together the days where all five are on point, then we're going to be operating at a capacity that is as close to our potential as possible. We have to tend to all five. We can't just move good and then sleep like Jack and then eat bad and then think inconsistently and poorly and not get a nervous system check and expect to be super successful with their weight loss journey. You can't expect to eat good and not not exercise at all, not sleep good, not think good, not get your checked, and expect that, oh, just because I'm eating less and moving faster, then eating salad, and that's what's going to result in my weight loss. But yet, 4 months later, you're like, you can't only sleep all the time, not and then expect these results. Hopefully the point is getting hammered home that you have to do all 5, but the fundamental piece is your nervous system. So when your nervous system is stressed out, it automatically puts you into Scar looking at me out the door, roaring at me, saying, I'm going to get you. It automatically puts us in that. And when we are stuck in that for hours and days and weeks at a time, that's when these chronic health issues began and were initiated and unable to be resolved over time, because Scar was constantly looking at you unconsciously because your nervous system was stressed out, more than likely due to a misalignment of the top bone of the neck. So if we're getting that top bone of the neck addressed, and we're getting the function of our nervous system cleared out and maintained over time, then that gives us the opportunity for the other 4 pieces, the other 4 pillars of the 5 of health, for what efforts we're doing at home to get integrated optimally the way that we envision them being. If I've confirmed, I came in here, got a functional nervous system test done, and my scan was clear, and I walked out the door, now I'm thinking in my head, sweet, because I know now my exercise, my nutrition, my sleep, and what I do for my mindset, whether it's going on walks, whether it's meditating, whether it's journaling, whether it's reading, whether it's praying, like all the things that you do for the quality of your mind. If you want to make sure that that's getting integrated at the highest capacity possible, got to make sure you're getting your nervous system checked. But if you are, and you know that it's clear, then we have an opportunity that all 4 of these other pieces that is upon us to do at home, each individual human has to address each of those at home. That's your responsibility to tend to yourself, because you are your most important patient and you are the best doctor for yourself. That's your opportunity to figure out what is the best Stacy exercise recipe, or the best Alexis nutrition recipe, or the best Grant sleep recipe, or the best Sarah mindset recipe, or the best Chris function recipe. You got to figure out each individual person for all 5 of those things, and you have to integrate all of them optimally. For myself, the ceasing eating after 6:30 p.m. has been super critical piece for myself. Also coordinating and controlling what foods I'm eating, trying to control my variables, and including the sequence of my eating. That has helped out my sleep, where my sleep is where it creates my hormones. So sleep's hyper important. And then that made my movement and stuff that I did for my mental well-being all be integrated properly, which helped me start maximizing and actually experiencing what it felt like to have your hormones doing what it's supposed to do, which that is the key towards why your weight loss plan is busted. So if any of that stuff just blew your mind because you're like, I've never heard of any of that before, comment that in the chat, throw a little takeaway in. Like we said before, that is a key part of why your weight loss plan is busted. It is because we're not controlling our hormones. We're not controlling our variables. We're letting it be up to chance. And it's just, that's not a plan for recipe. If you're guessing, that's not good. If you don't have a plan, you're never going to expect to get to the end, because we need to have a plan of attack for all 5 pieces. Now, the problem isn't the plan. The problem is you aren't sticking to the plan. You know who you are. You probably just dropped your jaw and said, oh, Chris just got me. Sorry, but someone has to. But those are the main pieces. Why your weight loss plan is busted. It's because Scar subconsciously, unconsciously is roaring at your body, roaring at your hormones, freaking them out because your nervous system isn't cleared out, because you're not addressing proper movement, you're not addressing proper nourishment, you're not making sure you're managing and controlling your sleep, and we're not doing anything for the mental well-being. We're just going day in, day out, rushing through it, getting to work quick, eating whatever we want, ordering food because we forgot it at home, coming home, scrolling on our phone, watching Netflix, going to bed, doing it day in, day out. So we start addressing all those pieces. We're going to start controlling our hormones, and then the weight loss journey will start picking up steam. Hope you enjoyed that bit for me. I thought that was a pretty decent piece, and I hope that I dropped a little knowledge nugget. But that's what we got for today. Make sure next second Wednesday of the month of February, you're showing to Dr. Cam's Coffee Community Night. Next Saturday, group walk at Two Rivers Park Bridge. That's going to be a great time. Without further ado, there's another piece. Don't go off yet because, like we said, we're giving away that free massage. Make sure to subscribe to YouTube. Make sure to like this video. Give it a share. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. It's been awesome seeing you guys. Let's get it going. Guess who's coming on next, though? If Dr. came in here, Dr. Chris just went. That means there's only one doc left. Dr. Grant coming in on why your weight loss plan is busted. This guy's coming up with the heat. You already know. It's coming in soon.
What is up, everybody, on this Wednesday after hours live? Man, you guys are having fun already. Chris just dropped some bombs there the last 22 minutes. Good to see Alexis and Stacy and so many of you on. Be sure and drop your theme in the comments. You guys notice, probably never seen, like I'm wearing glasses right now. It's because I don't need glasses and I don't wear glasses at all. But I've been looking into this blue light glasses phenomena quite a bit because, as you guys know, I see Miss Pam Peters popping in there. Positivity, I love that. It's a great theme. So I don't wear glasses. I just honestly wanted to see what I look like on camera with glasses. So I'm gonna take these off now. The blue light glasses. If you suffer from migraines, hey, listen, there's a lot of research coming out that if you're on screens a lot during the day, those blue light glasses can help out quite a bit. So, hey, but listen, that's not the topic for this evening. The topic is why your weight loss plan is busted. And hey, listen, I'm just going to disclaimer here. We are not weight loss experts. We are doctors of the nerve system. We are upper cervical doctors. However, our training goes in, to looking at the function of the central nerve system. But we do have quite a bit of knowledge and, more importantly, resources available to you via our networks of just acquiring. And like I said, these lives are designed in a way we can just bring you value after hours. We're here after hours to bring you value so you can make sure that this year is baller. So if you're looking for some of those blue light glasses, you can get those on Amazon. You can get a pair for $20. Amazon just put in blue light reading glasses. You can get them super cheap, and they do work. I mean, they're great, especially in tandem with care and some other self-care things. But listen, we're here to talk about why the weight loss plan is busted. And I'm going to give you 2, maybe 3 hacks this evening on something you're probably not privy to or aware of that is really going to change the game for you this year. The first thing I want to talk about is something that I actually am on a journey myself of identifying and using, because I'm always looking in my life for an edge. I'm always looking for an edge to longevity. What's something that I can do that's going to improve and outlast for my longevity? In other words, to live to 80, 90, 100 years old. Today, it's looked and frowned upon. Like, you can't live to 90 or 100. Sure you can, because you can start to do things now to increase longevity. Weight loss is just a fancy term for lifestyle management, and look, there's something that is a really sexy term right now, which is there's a specific type of testing that you can get that will draw your blood. I'm actually going to get mine done here soon. So this isn't something that I've actually even done yet, but I've become, a little bit aware of this type of technology. And don't forget, if you want a free massage, comment your one word over in the comments. We're going to pick a lucky winner here. And if we get lucky, maybe multiple winners. And so there's a type of testing you can get. And Chris, remind me, what's the so MRT is the type, and MRT stands for. Yeah, what it's looking at is in the blood. It's looking for hypersensitivities to your unique blood type to certain foods. And you can get this done. If you want to get this done, we can connect you with people in our network who can get this type of testing done. I'm getting it done for myself. And it's no secret that the person who really unlocked this phenomenon was Tom Brady when he started looking at the type of foods he was eating and the type of foods he was avoiding. And a lot of the foods he was avoiding were because he took this hypersensitivity test. It's called MRT. You can get it done. Most insurances will cover the consultation for free also to get that assessment done to where you can actually get the information from it. And listen, it talks a lot about, and it will show you your sensitivities to food that you presumably think are healthy for you that are not. What I mean by not healthy is I mean they're inflaming your body. For example, nightshade plants. For some people, tomatoes, eggplant, plants that are grown from traditionally known as nightshade plants, for some people are super inflammatory. Tom Brady was one of those. He identified that in his blood work and he was avoiding those. But what's sad is that a lot of people are making the proactive choice to make changes in their diet. And what they don't realize is these things that they think are inherently healthy for most people would be are not uniquely for them. And then it leads us down this weird journey of like, I'm eating good and I'm not shedding weight. And I don't really understand. I've changed my habits. I'm plateauing or something's not working. So over in the comments there, reach out to Nathan Slinkard for MRT test. He can hook you up. If you want us to connect you with him, we can do that too. I'm getting mine done through. And look, it identifies some interesting markers with inflammation related to foods that presumably you would think were healthy. So hey, that's one thing. Listen, your price of attendance there. Chris dropped bombs for straight 20 minutes. There's also that. That's something that's innovative, state of the art. That's a newer wave thing that you can do. That you can do to identify some of these foods you can eliminate, and maybe even bring into some foods, more importantly, into your diet that are actually good that you maybe thought weren't. So it's a hack. It's something just as an edge for all of our specific family members here. If you guys popping on here, joining with us at night, give you some value. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, once you have identified that through the MRT testing, what that essentially has done is told you what you can eat. So Chris and I were talking about this. We were talking about it relative to my own, journey of, like I said, to longevity. It's something I'm literally this year trying to look at. What are all the ways, edges, things I can look at to increase my longevity? And I just think nutrition is one of those. Obviously, I get my system checked, my nervous system checked. Most of you on here are watching or doing that as well. Good on you. Kudos to you. We love and are honestly honored that you're in our office and we can take you through this journey and provide you a little bit of value after hours, even outside the time you're in our office. But the second thing is this: that MRT testing will show you what to eat and what not to eat. There's also another test you can get done that will look at your basal metabolic rate. You can looking at the assessment is called Chris, what's the assessment? You can do a 5-star nutrition here in what's that? An in-body scan. You can get an in-body scan done. And one of the things that it looks at is your basal metabolic rate, which once you know your basal metabolic rate, then you can start to establish your macros. Your macros are what you need macronutrient wise specifically to you to accomplish your certain goal. Maybe you're not trying to lose weight. Maybe you're trying to gain weight. Listen, there's people on here who are trying to gain weight or whatever I do, I just can't gain weight. No matter what I do, I can't lose weight. No matter what I do, I can't get energy. No matter what I do, I can't lean up. I can't gain muscle mass. I can't get stronger. Whatever your goal is in that endeavor, it's going to be very specific to a diet regimen as far as what your macronutrient intake is. So what are the macros you're taking? What are the things? So grams per day of protein, grams per day of carbs, grams per day of fats, grams per day of all the other macronutrients. And so the MRT test is great because it's going to show you what you can and cannot eat. And then the BMR testing and the InFit scans that you can get, they're looking at how much of that you can eat. So what I can and can't eat, and then how much of it I can eat on any given day. That is a great success formula for really boosting and giving your body the nutrients. Because we always tell people, look, the first step is the metabolism in your body, which Chris talked largely about in the first half here, is kickstarting that engine. If the engine's not revved up, no matter how much gas you put in it, that car will not move. You got to have both moving together. And so for us, the central nervous system operating, allowing for appropriate metabolic activity happening over your body at 100% hours of the day is paramount for us. That's the foundation. That is the engine to your car starting. Then once it starts, we need to give it enough gas in order to move this car to 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. That gas is your nutrition. The nutrition and the things you put in your body, if they're not working together, that's when we get a stalled out car. And so, like I said, just kind of as a recap, you could do some MRT testing to look at some of these sensitivities. You can look at some BMR testing, look at your basal metabolic rate to establish your macros. So now we know what we can eat, what we can't eat, and how much of it per day. And then the third thing, exercise is critical. Water intake is critical because water is what drives all of these cellular processes within your body. Our body is a large majority of water. Our body is essentially an ocean. It's a large, vast majority of water with salts and electrolytes and some muscles intertwined in there and some bones. But if you look down at the breakup of a human body, it's a large majority of it is water. It's a big ocean. It's a big ocean of soft tissue. Need lots of water to drive metabolic activity and drive all the functions that you need. And 1 gallon of water a day is a great start. If you drink 1 gallon of water a day, you are not dehydrated. I can guarantee that unless you're Shaquille O'Neal. Unless you're Shaquille O'Neal, a gallon of water a day is a great place to start. And then exercise. Let's just talk about that for a second. Exercise to me and to you and to everybody should be moving your body. It doesn't have to be a CrossFit gym. It doesn't. In fact, Chris just broke it down to you with cortisol, insulin levels. Look, there's actually types of workouts that spike cortisol and spike insulin levels. There is fight or flight, norepinephrine and epinephrine, all these hormones in your body that we need in order to allow your body to rebuild itself and repair and lose weight. A lot of times, a lot of it is hormones. Just move every day. Just literally in the morning, wake up and say, I'm going to get 20 minutes as soon as I get up every day of movement. I'm going to get 30 minutes at the end of my day in movement. 30-minute walk. There's nothing wrong with a walk around the block. Like that is probably the best form of movement you can get. Now, adding terrain, hikes, those are great too. Adding a little bit of lateral agility and movement, there's a great place to start. Weight-bearing exercises, air squats, lunges, yoga pose. Listen, hey, so if you're joined our app, which you should, and if you haven't, you need to, because this Saturday we're going to drop a 10-minute yoga flow that we like that's on YouTube that you can literally sit in your living room on Saturday morning, put it up on your TV or put it up on your laptop, and it will take you through a yoga flow. It's super baller. I mean, it's great. On Sunday, we're going to drop our breath work. Now, we're not calling you out, Miss Alexis. I promise. We're not. We're calling everybody out. I'm calling myself out. I didn't drink a gallon today. I'm probably short. I'm probably falling short there. I'm close though. Winter is harder, which is backwards. And I agree, Stacy. Winter is a little bit harder. Winter is a little bit tougher. And that's why we're doing these right now during the winter time, to give you a little bit of an oomph and a little bit of accountability and to say, hey, a little bit of a swift kick to say, we got this. We got you. We're going to keep you accountable. We're going to give you all the tools necessary to make sure that this year is the best ever. We stick by our promise of that because our mission and vision is bigger than it's ever been here. And I think that in closing, one thing I just want to implore upon you is this. If you will incorporate, then those two things, you're ahead of the game. Get some MRT testing done. Get your basal metabolic rate down. If you're not sure, how to interpret that or what to do with that info, bring it to us. We're not experts in the field of nutrition. We don't claim to be. In fact, we put our utmost and foremost nutrition expert, Nathan Slinkard, here on the hotline. And you can see that in the comments there. And that's who we recommend for nutritional advice. However, we can't help you with accountability in the journey. We can certainly do that. And here's the thing. Download our app. On Sunday, we're going to do breath work. We're going to also send out a flow on breath work. Breath work is massively important. Breath work is huge in getting the oxygenation and the CO2 ridding of your body. Getting that cyclical breathing cycle down is very, very important. It's how your cellular processes in your body can really be kickstarted. We're not gonna get into the more extreme things like cold plunges, infrared sauna, and all that kind of stuff. That's for a topic for another day. Right now, we're just focusing on the things we can control. These are a lot of things you can control. So make sure you've downloaded our app. Make sure you're getting our notifications because that's where we send everything out is through our app. Do not miss that. It's time to do a giveaway. The moment everyone's been waiting for. You guys hung around. You're like, dude, I'm trying to win that massage, baby. So I'm looking down here through the comments, and one last chance. All you can do is comment your one word theme for the year. I'm going to give you guys a Jeopardy pause. All right. It's time to do a giveaway. Here's what I feel like we should do, Chris. Chris is on the on the production side over here right now. He's flowing in on the production side. I did it on the front half there. You guys could see the background on production here. This is crazy how these guys do this. We actually had good internet. It's great. Internet actually held up. Yeah, great. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I think we should give away two, instead of 1 hour, do 30 minutes to 2 lucky winners. And I just feel like it's appropriate with the type of engagement we've had tonight that Alexis and Stacey Russell are our winners tonight for 2 30-minute massages. Congratulations, Alexis and Stacey. You have won each 30-minute massage. Instead of one hour, we're going to give away 2 30 minutes. And here's what's even better about that. We got massage therapists we partner with and work with all over the place. And we're going to make sure we find one that's close to you. So wherever you're closest, I think both of you guys are in the Little Rock office. So we'll get one around Little Rock, West Little Rock area, preferably for you guys. So congratulations, you are our lucky winner for the night. You're each going to get a 30-minute massage on the specific for joining in here tonight and letting us drop some value on you in the after hours segment. Hey, don't forget, every single Wednesday we come out here at 6:30 here in the office for after hours. Our Hot Springs office, our Little Rock office. Everybody gets to be a winner, and everybody wins at some point. Stick around long enough, put this on your calendar, and do not forget, download the app, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join Dr. Cam the second Wednesday of every single month at Guillermo's for Coffee and Community. They're out there doing it right now. Totally free event. And then Dr. Chris, the third Saturday of every month, is doing a walk with friends, and he's mixing it up. I think this week you guys are going to Two Rivers Park. So 10 a.m. Saturday morning, come out there with your walking shoes on, get that exercise in right there, and just realize how good it feels on Saturday to get up and how much you're going to learn to get in that groove if you come out on a Saturday and you get a little bit of some steps in. It's gonna make your weekend way better. Most people think I'm gonna rest on Saturday. No. I like to kick it up on the weekends. Kick it up. That's the time that your body wants is yearning for a little bit of action, a little bit of some exercise. So hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Hey, listen, until next Wednesday, we're going to see you guys next Wednesday. Hey, listen, also tell us, what do you want to hear more of? What do you want us to jam out on? When you see those notifications come up, reach out to us. Tell us what you want more of on these lives. We're here to just make your lives more valuable, make sure that 2024 is your best year yet, because our vision here at the Specific Chiropractic Centers is very simple, and that is to make Arkansas the happiest and healthiest community in existence. And some would say that's not possible, and we're here to say that is very possible. And our mission here is to be a beacon in the community and the sick, hopeless, and lost when it comes to their health, to give them a place where they innately believe that their diagnosis is not, that their life is not defined by their diagnosis. It's pretty simple. I'm so sick and tired of people that come into us that have been told by the medical community that they're defined by their diagnosis, and it's garbage. Doesn't have to be that way, folks. You are not defined by a singular word. Hope you stick to that word this year of your theme, though. And until then, folks, next Wednesday, we will see you. Try to pop into some events. Keep a lookout for the app for all the stuff we're putting out. Hopefully you enjoy that stuff this weekend. And we will see you guys next Wednesday. Until then, have a great, great week.